Thank you again, Gayla. So today we continue the story of Lazarus and the Lazarus Blueprint, a process for co-creating our lives as shared by Mary Alice and Richard Jaffola in the book, The Lazarus Blueprint. So if you have been following along, have you noticed anything that changed in your life? Maybe a thought or a belief or anything at all? I see some laughter. It's us that changes. And we are the ones that choose to change ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we then change our sphere of influence, that space around us, that 6 feet of space. And from there, we change outwardly until the entire world is changed and shifted. And we get to participate in that. We get to contribute to that. We get to notice those thoughts that tumble around in our mind, often unnoticed, but they're there. So we become mindful to pay close attention to them, to direct them in the ways that are of truth, ways that are of goodness, ways that are of love. So let's look at the words that we use and how we use them in the Lazarus Blueprint. So today we move to the chapter, A Strong Command. So the story is that Lazarus, a dear friend of Jesus, had become ill and died. Jesus arrives at the scene after Lazarus had been buried for 4 days. Mary and Martha, the sister of Lazarus, were really disappointed in Jesus and let him know, saying, Jesus, if you had come, our brother would not have died. Just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of guilt, huh? We don't experience that in our lives. But this doesn't deter Jesus. He looked past all of that, and he asked them, where have you laid Lazarus? So arriving at the tomb, the cave had a large stone in front of it, probably a boulder. And Jesus tells them to remove the stone. So after a bit of excuse making, those who had gathered moved the stone. And here we are standing at the tomb of Lazarus, and a strong odor is coming out because it's been 4 days now that Lazarus was buried. So there's an odor. And at this moment, Jesus cries out in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. Now, I imagine those standing around were pretty shocked. First, to hear Jesus shouting such a thing. Did he not realize that Lazarus had been dead for 4 days? And he's telling them to come out of the tomb? In their mind, Lazarus isn't going anywhere. These are the people who had anointed his body, wrapped his body, buried his body 4 days prior. Lazarus isn't going anywhere. And if by any chance Lazarus does go somewhere and get up and come out of that tomb, what then? So I imagine the people around were pretty shocked. But not to get ahead of ourselves. This command of Jesus, Lazarus, come out, it's important in its own right. 3 little words. But notice, Jesus cried in a loud voice. He didn't whisper. He didn't use his indoor voice. He shouted, Lazarus, come out. And take a moment to think back in our lives. And for some of us, it's a longer journey than others. Can you ever remember yourself saying, oh, they just don't hear me. They don't listen to what I say. It's as if I'm speaking to the air. They never seem to hear me. And if you've raised kids, you've probably said that several times a day. Perhaps you've said that a time or two. So this step in the Lazarus Blueprint gives us not just permission, but the instruction to use our voice and to use it well, not as a whisper, not as a request. Oh, if you have the time, would you do this or that? If you think it would be okay, could you do this? Those are pretty wishy-washy requests. If it's not too much trouble, I think that I hear that a lot. Well, if it's not too much trouble, would you do? Or maybe you would be willing. What kind of request is that? No, Jesus was sharp. He was loud and he was clear. Lazarus, come out. No hesitation, no ifs, no options. Just to respond to come out. Our words have power. Our words provide the strength and add the vibration to everything that we think and put out into the world. If we're going to be taken seriously, we have a big voice. If we're going to be heard, it's our big voice that's going to be heard. Yes, sometimes we get called to a whisper. A whisper is a great de-escalation of chaos or argument, but not when you really want to accomplish something. Does anybody whisper, help? No, we shout help. When we want to engage everybody, we use our volume. And have you ever been in a place where you spoke your words out loud, talked to yourself, just spoke the ideas that were flowing through your mind and said, well, now that I hear myself say that, it doesn't sound like such a great idea. Or perhaps it makes no sense at all now that I've said it out loud. And perhaps we have a good friend who's willing to listen to our words to help us filter them. So our voice is what ignites action to our thoughts and our feelings. So what power ignites that for you? Is it strength or is it unsureness? Is it faith or is it fear? Is it courage that ignites you or is it doubt? Is it uncertainty or is it assuredness? This strong command is our instruction to speak our truth, to speak it with faith, and to speak it with strength, and to speak it with understanding, to speak our truth with wisdom, with power, and with enthusiasm. That's half of the 12 powers right there. So we teach over and over and over again that our words are formative and our words are creative. The thoughts and beliefs held behind our words are the energy that bring them into life or not. It's the thoughts and feelings behind our words. It's the power of our words that bring ideas that sit in our mind from the formative to the creative, to make it manifest, to bring it out into the world. Of course, our words need to be followed by our actions. That's our fifth principle. Remember it? It's not enough to know these truths. We must live them in our thoughts, our words, and our actions. We might have grand ideas. We might have a plethora of divinely inspired ideas. We all do. We're thinking and creating beings. Our words give them the creative power, and our action makes them manifest. We could go through our entire lives with many ideas formed, in our thoughts. And there they shall stay unless we act on them, unless we ignite these wonderfully inspired ideas with our words and actions. We speak them into the ethers and we surround them with our energy to bring them into manifestation. So we speak our words with a loud voice. We create a vibrational frequency that surrounds and infuses thoughts. In the Lazarus Blueprint, the Jaffolas share the idea that our words are like light. And now the light of the sun is diffuse. It goes in every direction and in every space. The sun has no worry about where it shines. It has no care about where it shines. It just shines for the pure joy of shining. And we get to sit under it and be grateful for it. And then our words are like laser light, the light that is focused, the light that is sharp, so focused that laser light is successfully used for many surgeries. Our voices direct that light in every direction, or it can be laser focused. Either way, our words are a mirror of the beliefs that we hold within our mind. So this coming week, perhaps take a moment, take many moments to listen to your words. I was speaking with a friend this week, and she said, well, I know that I'm love, so I have to be love. Look for the, I have to be's, the have to's and the shoulds and the musts. Look at those things that we feel compelled because the world says we should, or those things that are divinely inspired in us. Listen to your words. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth. Listen to the words that others use. Are they creating the truth, or are they perpetuating untruths? Are they affirming true beliefs, or are they affirming old beliefs that maybe society taught us, families or institutions taught us that really are not true for us anymore if they ever were? Notice what words you use. So as I was teaching a course called Absolute Abundance several years ago, it came to light that I had a deeply held belief about prosperity of life. It was a generational teaching. My grandparents taught it to my parents. They probably heard it from their parents and their grandparents. My parents taught it to me. My grandparents were immigrants and came to the United States with very little. They all had to work very hard to make their way in a new country and to support and provide for their families. From that, I heard and learned the value of a hard day's work, the importance of keeping commitments and integrity behind being dependable. And all of my bosses thought those were very fine attributes that I brought to my work each day. I also learned from my grandparents that if you work hard, you just might make enough to get by. There I was teaching an abundance class, one that I had taught many times. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me that I was carrying this generational belief that if I worked really hard, I just might make enough to get by. There's no abundance in that. Who wants just enough, a meager pittance? No, we want abundance. We want plenty. There is plenty in the world. So I was so grateful that this came to my attention, because then I could change my words. I could change my thinking. I could change that belief. And we get to do that every day. But only when we become aware of the words we use, the thoughts we hold, and the beliefs that are behind them. So what words are you sharing with the world? What words are your sunlight that flow everywhere and fall in every direction? What words are the laser light words that carve and shape your life? What words do you use? What are the words that you use with laser focus that form your life? The words that grow out of deeply held belief in your conscious mind and even in that subconscious mind from where so much of our life living comes. True or not true, those become our regular thoughts. Those regular thoughts seed our actions, and those actions become our lives. So Lazarus, come out. And there are some affirmations that we're going to share today. No affirmations in there? No. Well, we're not going to share the affirmations today. I had made some slides, and I don't seem to have my Lazarus Blueprint with me. So think about the words that you use. Think about where those thoughts were seated. Think about how you learned those things. Are they true for you today? Can you live them as your truth? And then we have the affirmation for the week. Let's say it together. I am healed and restored to life. Any other slides after that? No? Yes, these are the affirmations. So go back to that last one if you would, Mary Beth. Yes. So let's say this first one again. I am healed and restored to my life. Come out in the light. I am free and ready to start a new life. Come out now. I wake up to new possibilities. I wake up filled with peace. Come out now. And nothing has power over me. I use my innate divine powers. Come out now. And our theme for this week, let's speak it together. Come out. Come out. I leave the dark cave of the past and step into the light. So together, let's step into the light. Let's be all that we are called and meant to be in this world. Namaste.